The video game industry is filled to the brim with activists who don't want to make high quality, entertaining content. They want to push political propaganda in your face at any opportunity possible. And that is exactly why Take Us North is getting absolutely raked across the coals by gamers on social media, because it is an illegal immigration game that has ties to the UN, Sweet Baby Inc., Wings Interactive, and is being funded by Microsoft. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, over the past couple of years, we've seen several games get government funding, like Dustborn received 150,000 euros from the EU's Creative Europe project, Cat Park was funded by the US Department of State Global Engagement Center, and now apparently this brand new illegal immigration game, Take Us North, is more of the same because it is a Microsoft-funded title being developed by Anima Games and a woman named Carla Reyes who is working on this team, but she is an advisor at Wings Interactive, a company that has received French government funds in the past to make games that are really just vessels for propaganda. So, this is a That Park Place article. It says the illegal border crossing simulator game Take Us North has been exposed for having connections to Sweet Baby Inc., Wings Interactive, and even the UN itself. My number one question with titles like this are always going to be, who are they made for? The activists that they're trying to make this content appeal to don't actually play video games, and all you're really doing is putting hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars into a project that basically nobody is going to end up buying or playing or consuming. You're really just wasting your time, and I understand that the message is what is most important to these people, doing their job, right, and doing what's right for the world as they view it is what they're truly focused on, but you do still need to make something that people are going to play, otherwise you're making something for no one. If you thought Microsoft funding a game glorifying coyotes and illegal border crossings was bad enough, buckle up. What has now come to light through the efforts of the YouTube channel Gothic Therapy and its hosts Master of the TDS and Writing Raven is far worse. So, Take Us North, the controversial survival narrative game from Anima Interactive, isn't just a fringe indie darling, it's not even simply a woke project that slipped through the cracks of corporate funding. According to a new revelation, Take Us North is the project of a carefully constructed pipeline linking Microsoft, Wings, Sweet Baby, and even the UN, which isn't particularly shocking. At this point, a lot of these companies love to work together, and a lot of these companies believe that one day a game like this will end up paying off. It's like the Bob Iger effect. Bob Iger and Disney keep pumping out all of these very progressive pieces of content because they think one day audiences will change their minds and they'll want this content, and then they'll have the biggest back catalog of movies and TV shows and even video games of it, but that hasn't happened, and really it's not going to happen. So, Anima Interactive presents the game as a tool for empathy, claiming it draws from migrant stories and anthropological interviews. Microsoft promoted the project through its ID at Xbox Developer Acceleration Program, while mainstream outlets like Wired ran glowing features describing it as an empathy machine. Of course, pushing politics is fine when it's their brand of politics. If it was someone else, I don't know, making a Trump doom game, right, all of these activists would be melting down over it. Anyone who has followed recent industry controversies knows Wings, the shadowy funding group, vanished from the public eye after scrutiny over its role in bankrolling obscure titles that pushed activist messaging while pulling in suspiciously high funding totals. But now it looks like they're back again. So, Wings' connection to Sweet Baby Inc. is well documented. Sweet Baby's co-founder, Kim Belair, served on the board of Wings, directly linking the two. Sweet Baby, of course, infamous for inserting identity politics into games like Spider-Man 2, KTJL, and Ragnarok, has been accused of turning games into a vehicle for ideological messaging. That's all their focus really is. They don't care about creating high-quality, unique, entertaining pieces of content. They really just care about pushing propaganda, and that's what sucks the most is they can put a certain theme or a message into a product and people wouldn't care if it was a high quality piece of content, but they don't even know what the word high quality means. Everything they put out is so low effort. It's clear that they don't actually care about this industry or entertainment in general. They just viewed it, like the women during Gamergate 1, Anita Sarkeesian and Zoe Quinn, as a way to make money. They thought that it was going to be easy, but it definitely isn't. And it also talks about Clever Endeavor Games, which also poured money into Take Us North. Conveniently, Clever Endeavor bankrolls Wing's 2025 Elevate program, the same program designed to push marginalized voices into the gaming spotlight. So it goes Microsoft bankrolls Anima through ID at Xbox, Wings Interactive endorses and promotes the game, Clever Endeavor provides additional financial backing while sustaining Wings itself. And here's where it gets explosive, because it was reportedly presented at the United Nations under the codename The American Dream just 9 months ago. Yeah, this whole entire situation actually blew up because Asmongold had reacted to this video that started going kind of viral, and it was Gamescom Congress. And they removed this video after Asmon reacted to it. I think because they were hoping to hide this situation and get less eyes on it. But of course, that's never going to work. The Streisand effect occurred. After Asmongold's coverage, they got really scared, and then they ended up privating it. And actually, funny enough, Anima Interactive deleted their X account because they clearly don't want anybody discussing this. But if you take one look at this game, it truly does look like modern audience slop the game. Now, I am not going to play the whole entire thing and do a reaction because I've already seen it, but it's very low effort, very low quality, and of course, it's just got this very saturated color scheme. It doesn't even really seem like they put a whole lot of effort into it. There are some games that definitely have a more minimalistic graphical and art style, and it can look really cool, but this one just doesn't look nice at all whatsoever. It's like they said, hey, we want to put out this propaganda. Let's, I guess, put a little bit of gameplay in it, which really is just avoiding helicopters and walking through the mountains and deserts. I guess illegally working your way into these cities, which is just a terrible, terrible idea in general. But I'm not particularly shocked. Now, here is the Anima Interactive About page. It says they are a socially conscious indie game studio that blends art and technology to drive positive cultural impact. With video games as the largest entertainment medium in the world, we strongly believe in the immense untapped opportunity for interactive media to drive real-world positive change. Entertainment shapes culture, and culture shapes society. As developers, we have a responsibility to expand perspectives. We're a small but mighty team of artists, storytellers, and activists, hey, at least they admit it, dotted across the globe. The development team behind Take Us North represents over 15 countries, including Argentina, Colombia, Guatemala, Mexico, the Netherlands, the US, the UK, and Spain. Our team is over 60% BIPOC and over 60% female/non-binary, and we aim to challenge the status quo in the broader games industry. So they don't actually care, again, about like creating high quality entertainment. They just care about pushing a narrative and pushing propaganda, and they are being absolutely wrecked on social media for it, and rightly so. Not gonna lie, I want to play it as an ICE agent. What the hell even is that? Laughing my ass off. Someone's hiding something. WTF. The video's been made private, huh? Must be so proud of their work. What absolute idiots. Imagine making a human trafficking game and thinking you're the good guys. They didn't even play the trailer. It was all a propaganda PowerPoint, nothing on the game. You can't make this up. Left-wingers are living outside reality. They're completely detached from what's happening. Saying her pronouns as she, her is just the icing on the cake, especially because nobody asked and nobody needs to know. What even is that? There are so many people who are saying they can't even believe this is real either, and I can after seeing so many games like Dustborn releasing over the past couple of years, but it's just so mind-blowing that they continue to barrel forward with these pieces of content when nobody ever supports them. And instead of actually just standing their ground and saying, yep, this is what we're making and we're proud of it, they really are already backtracking. Of course, after the Gamescom Congress clip started to blow up because Asmongold reacted to it, they privated the video, so it's actually very hard to find a unedited, uncommentated version of it on social media right now. But they also went ahead and deleted their social media account. And if you go to Google and you type this in, it does pop up. So it did exist up until recently, and it's just very clear that they cannot handle the backlash they're getting right now. And they probably wanted to operate like a Sweet Baby Inc., where they weren't getting a lot of attention and they were able to kind of fly under the radar. They were able to silently release pieces of propaganda like this, but that clearly hasn't worked, as hundreds of thousands to now millions of gamers are aware of this title, of this studio, and of the game that they're trying to release, and they are being absolutely laughed at on social media for it. And really, they deserve it, because this is just a game filled with buzzwords. It's not supposed to be entertaining, and it's really supposed to be a message first and foremost. And I'm so glad that so many people are talking about this and voicing how unhappy they are with this, and we're just pointing and laughing. So I'll be keeping my eye on this situation, and I'm sure covering it more in the future. But for now, that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.